Are you a Masters of the Universe fan? Well, if you are, you should be interested in the new Masters of the Universe mini comic collection. This is a book that was published by Dark Horse Books. It collects all of the mini comics that came out from the 1980s series, the 4 mini comics that was part of the He-Man New Adventures, all of the She-Ra Princess of Power mini comics that came out, 1 mini comic that came out from the 2000 series, and a couple of the mini comics that recently came out from the new Masters of the Universe Classic series, all in one big-ass book. This is awesome. I cannot define how incredibly cool it is to have all of these different stories collected together in one book. I would love to go through all of the different stories in this book. Instead, I'll just show some of the highlights and some of the Easter eggs that are included in it. First and foremost, we have a lot of different interviews between some of the artists and writers that were included along the way. It's interesting that we have some writers who are trying to pay attention to some continuity, while others were being brought in without giving any background information at all as to what the storytelling is going to be about. The first 4 mini comics that came out all had a different format as opposed to the rest of the mini comics that came out in the future. Their original storytelling was more in sort of like a storybook rather than a mini comic. On the bottom of a lot of the pages, we get little notes that I like to call pop-up video notes, where it's like we're given different ideas what the artist and writer may have been thinking, or whether or not this may be contradicting something else that was previously stated. It's great to see the evolution of He-Man throughout the years. Originally, when he was introduced, the storybooks showed him much more barbaric. He was modeled after Conan. I won't go into the origins and all that stuff. That's a huge messy topic all in itself. I love his original origin. I think it was great. Later, DC Comics came in, and you can definitely see a huge shift in the storytelling and the artwork too. When DC Comics stopped publishing the mini comics, you could also see a huge difference from the stories and the art. A lot of the mini comics gave spotlights to the specific character that they were included with the original toy packaging, giving them their own 15 minutes of fame. Other comics gave genuine storytelling that may have been based on an actual episode from the Filmation series in the 80s. One comic that I was really happy about that was included in this book is called The Power of the Evil Horde. This was a mini comic that was available just with a 2-pack series that came out that was extremely rare, which is unfortunate because this comic introduced the Horde to the Masters of the Universe fans out there, and it seems as though it would be essential for any kid to be reading this to know where the Horde actually came from. I never really read any of the Princess of Power mini comics that came out other than the first one. There was a much different feel for the storytelling. In He-Man and Masters of the Universe mini comics, there was a lot more fighting taking place, whereas from Princess of Power, you rarely ever saw She-Ra use her super strength to fight and punch someone in the face. So it was something that I never really got into as much. But reading them in this book, I can appreciate the stories that were being done, and I'm also appreciative of the fact they actually made them too. The New Adventures of He-Man only had 4 different mini comics that came out, even though they had a lot of figures that came out from that toy line. A lot of people don't like to talk about it too much because they like to pretend that never happened. Some people are really happy with the idea of how the Classics line has incorporated that storyline into the whole mix of what the whole Masters of the Universe mythos is. Reading them, the stories are pretty good. It's not exactly the way I like to think of Masters of the Universe, but still it is something interesting to go through. It's really unfortunate that there was only 1 mini comic that came out from the 2000 series. The series had a lot of potential. I really love the cartoon that was on Cartoon Network. I also like the toys, and I think the revamped looks of them were incredible. They did have a full comic book series that came out. It's unfortunate though that they were just little mini stories that took place in between episodes, or something that may have continued on another episode. It didn't really seem like the storytelling itself was the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It was unfortunate though because I know that they were limited in what they could actually say. The mini comics that come out with the current Classics toy lines for Masters of the Universe, I'm a huge fan of them. Not all of the mini comics from the Classics toy line has been included in this book, which again, it's unfortunate, but it's understandable too, being that the making of this video, not all of those comic books have been released yet. The book also includes 2 different mini comics that were never published, which was really cool. The first one includes Tongue Lashor and Rattler. The second one includes Faker, who I thought Faker was another character that was sorely underutilized. Overall, I think this was a great investment. I love the book. I love the original mini comics that came out. The pages are much larger than the original mini comics, so now we can see some images much closer. The book retails roughly around $30, but I bought mine on Amazon and I got it for a much cheaper price as of the making of this video. I highly recommend it, even though I've read most of these stories several times, but still, I'm a huge fan of it. But anyways, that's it for now. Thank you guys for joining me in this video, and I'll join you in another one very soon. Peace.